Hi everybody, welcome into Universal Beauty, and today I thought perhaps we would just talk about foundations. There are so many different things to choose from and it can get really confusing. BB cream, CC cream, tinted moisturizer, light coverage, medium coverage, full coverage, like what is it all and how do you find what's best suited for you? The first thing, I guess we'll go over BB cream and CC cream. Well, what is it? BB cream is actually stands for beauty balm, and it is a much lighter texture than a foundation, and it is, well, it's a creamy, light light texture. It's used to even out your skin tone, and it typically has an SPF in it, and it's just a nice light thing. Typically I like to use it maybe on the weekend when you're not really doing anything super, important, but you just kind of want to have a nice looking complexion, evening things out. And I usually use it for that. There's the brands that have the most shade range are things like NARS, Bare Minerals, ELF, Smashbox, Maybelline Dream Fresh. All of these formulations have a wide range that can help to suit anybody. The one I've been using is this Garnier, and this one retails like at Ulta. Oh gosh, I'm sorry, my camera light is so bright there. Let me back off a little. Yeah, this one retails at Ulta for $12.99, and it is just Garnier Skin Active. It has a broad spectrum SPF in it again, and it's just like, they're calling it a 5-in-1 Miracle Skin Perfector. I'm in the shade light medium. I'm not sure that Garnier has the shade range that a lot of those other brands I mentioned do. Sometimes, they run to just like fair, light, medium, tan, and deep, or rich, sometimes they call those things. And it's not the best because, we're just not a one color fits all type of, society. Everybody has very subtle differences, and a brand with a great shade range is a real benefit to all of us. So anyway, there's that. A CC cream CC would be color corrector, and it really is much the same as a BB cream, but it concentrates more on redness, diminishing those kind of imperfections on the face, more of a color issue, like maybe dark circles that have like kind of the purplish cast, that kind of thing. Whereas a BB cream is just to give you an overall, like more of a brightening, a glow, okay? So that's a good place to start for your weekend. Then as we're moving on to foundations, there are so many different kinds. This one is, of course, gosh, I'm back on it with Edward Best. This one is the Complexion Correcting Mousse Foundation, and it is the texture of that is a real mousse. It's this comes with a expert blending brush that is also an Edward Best. This is pricey though. This one it retails at $86. You do get the brush, and again, Edward doesn't do like a really huge shade range. With him, it is light. Let me see. What is it? It's light, fair, medium. Maybe it's fair that goes first. Yes, fair, light, medium, tan, and deep. And it's good because you can probably work your way into most complexions with that, but I don't know. I kind of wish that he would broaden his spectrum a little more, because it would be really useful to have some in-between shades for those of us that are not like a perfect fair or a perfect light or a perfect medium even. What is a medium? That's kind of subjective. So it's a lot to pay to have you, to just test it on yourself. Anyway, that's a mousse. He also does one that is called the Flawless Illusion. It's a moisturizing cream to powder blend. This one retails for $58, and I also go in the shade medium for this, but I've hit pan on mine absolutely, because I have used it quite a lot. Gosh, I'm not doing so great with these lights today, but anyway, that's how it comes. And it also comes with the brush that you swirl and you buff it into your face. It's like, I don't believe with Edwards that there are any, I don't believe that there's any SPF in there, which would be really nice to have. And so anyway, again, it's a luxury brand. It's just if you have the extra money to try and spend on that sort of thing. Something else is Mally. This is the Quick Fix Foundation Concealer Stick. This retails for $30, and Mally also only goes with fair, light, medium, tan, and rich. And it's just a stick that, it's like this. And you can just apply that on your face and then blend it in yourself with either, well, the Damp Beauty blending tool that, you know, I told you is the hero in my book, or a blending brush, that kind of thing. The Mally is, it's a medium to full coverage, and it reduces the appearance of imperfections and pores, which is also a really great thing because I'm always looking for something that'll help minimize pores around here because they tend to look giant sometimes. Okay, so Mally retails at $30. Then we have, this is really interesting. This is Smashbox, and this is the Studio Skin Shaping Foundation Stick plus the soft contour. So on one end, you've got that same kind of pop-up stick with your shade that you can, you know, do the same thing. But the really nice thing is if you're looking to get into contouring and you're not quite sure what to do, this is the perfect companion for that. And it goes like at a slant, so it's very easy to apply, and then you can just blend that in as well. And it is the perfect match to the type of, the type of foundation that, yeah, you're using. That one comes in 11 are in the shade range. You can get this at Ulta for 21 bucks. And it's medium buildable coverage. So what does that mean? That means that you get a nice medium coverage, but if there are certain areas where you feel like you need better coverage, it is buildable and it's not going to just fade down. So that's also a nice thing. And like I say, if you're beginning with contouring and you'd like to learn and try to have a go at it, that's a pretty decent price for that. Then we have this one I really like. This is Tarte Amazonian Clay, and this one is, it comes in 40 different shades. So Tarte is on it in this particular foundation of theirs. This is like, it's a full coverage, so it's a little bit of a heavier texture, but it doesn't really feel heavy laying on your skin. And again, that would be the type that you would put out a dollop and dot on your face and then use that Damp Beauty tool, beauty sponge, blending tool, and it is a lovely coverage. It really, really completely smooths down imperfections. I don't really typically go for heavy coverage or full coverage. I'm not a full coverage girl. I usually go light medium because I just find, again, with my skin aging as it is, when less is more. When the more kind of heavy foundation you put on, I feel like the more obvious it looks that you're trying to cover something, you're trying to hide something. I really don't mind my skin showing through. Really what I'm looking for is color correction. I just want everything to have a fairly uniform look to it. I want to get rid of, you know, kind of the darkness under my eyes, which, you know, does tend to have that purple or blue hue. I have some redness in other areas, and that's pretty much what I'm looking for, and I can usually achieve that with a light to medium coverage. But I know that there are some people that, like again in the case of someone that had rosacea or extreme purple under the eyes, you might want a full coverage because that would really help you to smooth that down and even that out. So that's when something like that comes in really handy. And with 40 in the shade range, that is excellent because that really helps to cover all of us in all the different ways that from the lightest light to the deepest dark. Okay, and that retails for $39. And it's got an SPF 15 in it as well, which is always a nice thing. Something else that I'm on to lately is this Giorgio Armani face fabric. And gosh, I'm really loving the texture of this. It's like a nice mousse texture. Mousse to powder is how it like dries down. And it's so soft and beautiful on your skin. It's... let me see. This one retails at $49. So again, it's a little pricey, but I find a little goes a long way with this, and I've just kind of been using it more and more lately because I'm just loving that texture of that. 12 in the shade range, so could be better, could be worse, you know. It's a light buildable coverage mousse, and like I say, it's powder. It dries down to a powder matte finish, which is a lovely thing. So again, you know, maybe 49, I don't know. It's about 10 bucks more than maybe the average nice foundation, but if you want to experiment and try that, it's I really think it's great. It's beautiful. Next up is, this one is a liquid foundation, and this one is Benefit, and it is, what is it? Hello Happy. Yeah, this one is Hello Happy. I'm in the shade 4 on this one. My skin tone is pretty much medium, you know, maybe a little lighter in the winter, a little deeper in the summer, but for the most part, I am kind of just in that medium range. This one is a light to medium coverage. It also has an SPF 15, and there's 12 in the shade range. And this one is $29, and it is like, I feel more really light coverage because the liquid is much more, I don't like really the word runny, but it runs much better than like some of these other ones that are a thicker texture. So very light. You can use that damp Beauty Blender sponge, and it really puts a nice finish down, but not too heavy, not too thick. You don't feel it laying there, and it's pretty nice. $29 is a good price too, and that's from Benefit. This one is my absolute go-to all the time, and I think, you know, probably a lot of people that do these channels on YouTube where they're talking about makeup time and time again, most people do really love this stuff. This is Too Faced, and it's Born This Way, and this is just such a great foundation. This one has, let me see, it's medium to full coverage, and it just gives you a flawless finish. It's oil-free, it's cruelty-free, it's vegan, so you know, there is a lot to be said for this in that way. Trying to think, I know that there's 35 in the shade range, so this one also has a pretty broad band of different tones that, you know, you can pretty much find your shade here. And I believe if you do go on their website, or even on maybe the Sephora website, or even Ulta, they do have a helpful matching little program that can help you decide. The best thing to do is really, if you want to bother, go into the Sephora or the Ulta and have them match you, because, you know, that is really like the best way they can see you in real life and the light. But you know, some people, like I said, they really don't care to go in there because they haven't always been treated well by sometimes the staff. So if you don't have a good experience at counter and you just want to do your ordering online, they do have those programs that are like, if you use this is what you'll use in this brand, you know, that sort of matching for you. So this retails at $39, and it lasts a pretty good long time. It's my absolute favorite. I always go back to it, but it has, like, you know, a lot of really wonderful attributes. And lastly, Bare Minerals, which has a few different types of foundation in their arsenal, but when they first came out, it was the mineral powders, and there's different kinds that you can get. Like, there's one that's a faux tan. Now these are just the minis, but they do come in more of a full size that range for $29. And these, you just take it doesn't take much, just a little sprinkle in the cap with your brush, and you buff these into your skin as well. And there's also one that's a sunscreen, and that's SPF 20 on that one. See, they're just like these little jars. And then this one is actually kind of neat because it's Rare Minerals Blemish Therapy, and this one, it just helps to, you know, calm down the redness of blemishes or any kind of acne-prone skin. And it's the minerals actually, you know, are more helping to dry up oil if you have an oily complexion. Anyway, they're a nice thing. They give a good finish. They last a good long time. I've just kind of in recent years moved away from the mineral powders, and I'm more onto this. And you know, my favorites lately have got to be the Too Faced Born This Way and the Giorgio Armani face fabric. Yeah, but I still really do like the Amazonian clay from Tarte and the Edward Bess and the Smashbox. You know, sometimes that stick foundation is just really great when you can place it exactly where you want it and then blend it. So it really depends on mood and what kind of textures you like, and again, the light to medium versus the full coverage. Maybe you just want only a CC cream or a BB cream. There are also tinted moisturizers that are very light, but I feel like if you're going to do that and you only just want like that just little bit of lightness, I think it would be better to go with a BB cream because you're getting the benefits of the anti-aging and as well as the SPF coverage on those. So it just seems like a better thing to do. Anyway, if you have any comments, please leave them below. I'd love to hear the kind of foundations that you like, what you're finding, what's working for you, and share with all of us if you have favorites or you just have comments about anything. Please do subscribe if you haven't already, and go ahead and hit the little bell next to the subscription button if you'd like to be made aware every time there's a new upload. I've been trying to upload twice a week. Right now we're still just kind of going through the basics of just what everything is, and you know, I would love to hear your comments. So thanks again for joining me. I so appreciate you being here, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.